Greetings, Guardians, my name is Bife here. So, you want to become a Cloud Strider, huh? A bold and scary choice considering that you'll only have another 10 years of life worth to live. But in those 10 years, you'll be a famous protector of Neomuna and your name will live on as a hero of the city. But how do you become a Cloud Strider? Well, the short answer is a lot of augmentation using nanotechnology, and the long answer is a lot more complicated. The first Cloud Strider was given the call sign of just Strider. Her name was Michaela Eulaia. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. At this point in Neomuna's history, it's clear that there was a conflict of some sort going on, and that the citizens of Neomuna were all taking part to defend their home. We don't know what the enemy in this conflict was, but presumably it was against the Vex. Many of the individuals that lived within Neomuna and who were fighting had augmented themselves with various nanite enhancements, but seemingly nothing akin to the level of augmentation that normal Cloud Striders undergo. That was, until the actions of Michaela. Take a listen to how the history is told to the children of Neomuna. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, niños. It's Thursday. And you know what that means? That's right, it is Cloud Strider Day. What do the Cloud Striders do? Right again, they keep us all safe. And how do we tell them thank you? By remembering them. Today we will learn about the Strider. She was the very first Cloud Strider, and the one they named themselves after. Before the Strider, we did not have a special protector for the city. And that meant we all had to fight every day. We had many weapons and implants to make ourselves strong, but not the special synthesis that makes the Cloud Striders special. And many more Neomuni had to be soldiers and transform their bodies to protect the city and get hurt. The Strider saw us suffering. She worried that fighting so much would hurt our hearts, and she knew that one person can make all the difference. So she took her courage and her wits and her strength and created the Sidereal. Do you know what the Sidereal is, niños? That's right, the Sidereal is a special place where one person gives up their normal life to become a Cloud Strider and live for us all. The Strider gave us the Sidereal. The Cloud Strider fights so we can have peace, so we could be more than just soldiers. That's all for today, niños. 3, 2, 1, now have fun. And remember, thank you, Cloud Striders. So the Cloud Striders were created through the use of the Sidereal, a machine that augments them and turns them into Cloud Striders. But a Cloud Strider is more than just their augmentations and technology. A Cloud Strider is also a protector based on their philosophy and their code of ethics. And whilst there is no individual that's known to have come up with the Cloud Strider code, it is noted that there are some who've done more to codify it than others, and I think it's worth mentioning Maelstrom here. Maelstrom in particular is known for founding the Asura Academy, that created the next step for Cloud Striders as an organization. It also proved in a rather grim fashion that only 2 Cloud Striders should be allowed at any one time. But the informative work done at the Asura Academy is also the place where future Cloud Striders would get their training from. This is the more revisionist history of her founding of the Academy, as well as the crisis that she repelled in her time. It does lack context here, but don't worry, we'll cover it all in a video soon. And we'll talk about how some Cloud Striders back in the day went rogue. In the meantime though, this is the more incomplete history, which tells you at least what you need to know for now about the Cloud Strider Maelstrom. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, niños. It's Thursday, and you know what that means. That's right, it is Cloud Strider Day. What do the Cloud Striders do? Right again, they keep us all safe. And how do we tell them thank you? By remembering them. Today we will learn about Maelstrom. That's a new word, isn't it? Do you know what it means? A maelstrom is a big storm. A maelstrom is loud and scary, and it can cause a lot of damage. The Cloud Strider who picked Maelstrom as her call sign was also loud and scary, but she wasn't scary to us. She was scary to the Vex. She was a strong warrior who could fight as well as any of the Vex, but she was also a very smart leader who taught all the other people on Neptune how to defend ourselves. And do you know what she did? She started a special school called the Asur Academy, and you can go there today if you study hard and you want to learn to be a good leader like Maelstrom. They even train new Cloudstriders. But today, we mostly remember Maelstrom because she saved the whole city from the Uplift Coven. The Uplift Coven were humans like you, but they were selfish and mean. Good people talk out their differences and find ways to fix their problems that help everyone. But the Uplift Coven hurt people and stole from people, and they all wanted to be Cloudstriders. Why shouldn't more people be Cloudstriders? That's right, because the Cloudstrider sacrifices. A Cloudstrider must have affinity, awareness, and altruism. You cannot be a Cloudstrider if you demand things from other people. Maelstrom made the Uplift Coven stop, and now we are very careful to teach everyone to be better citizens when they are young, because good children grow into good adults, and even good Cloudstriders. That's all for today, niños. 3, 2, 1, now have fun. And remember, thank you, Cloudstriders. One of these days, maybe I should release a recording of kids' stuff again so that people have something to play to their children. You'd be surprised, it's actually something people have asked me for on a fairly regular basis, and perhaps Capybara Corner will make an appearance there as a full reading with less of the grim undertones of rewriting history that lots of those episodes present. Yeah, there are two things that really make up a Cloudstrider, and one of them is highlighted in this entry, and it's that code of ethics, where they talk about the 3 A's that you need in order to live as a Cloudstrider effectively. Affinity, awareness, and altruism. So you need your code of ethics, and you need a lot of nanite augmentation. The third and final piece of any Cloudstrider, of course, is a willing volunteer. A human being that has proved themselves as worthy of ascension into a Cloudstrider. For this instance, we're going to focus on Nimbus and their ascension into a Cloudstrider, seeing as we actually have a lot of detail about how they became one. They are referenced a lot within the lore, and it goes into detail about the exact things that happened to transform them. This is revealed in the lore of the Foremost Vimana ship. Ugh, that one's a tongue twister for no good reason. Either way, the lore reads as follows. Set your sights higher, and higher still. They emerge from the pod in a cloud of sublimated breath, their eyelashes rimmed with ice. Cryosleep stiffens their joints, and when they attempt to stand, their knees buckle. A massive hand dwarfs their own, pulling them upright. It's time to get going, kid. They look up and up into the weathered face of a giant. It's Dara, old-timer. Rohan's stern features split into a smile. In the days to come, they will learn how rare a sight this is. There are no smiles to go around when drills bore into bone until they taste marrow, and metal latticework replaces the dermis of their flayed-open throat. As the cradle lowers them into the sidereal, the droning hum of a nonillion nanites fills their ears and drowns their fear. Dara burns and freezes and itches inside new skin. Each day is suffering, so tomorrow can live on. Dara's voice, resonant from new cybernetics, rings out as they complete the Cloudstrider's oath. Simulated applause fills the Hall of Heroes, swelling with the fanfare that follows. Hundreds of mobile platforms pack into the space, and thousands more people watch from the Cloud Ark. Hollow flowers cascade down over the room like confetti, and pukas dance in the rain of light. Rohan lifts them up, eye to eye with him. Their chest swells with pride, their body metamorphosized into something new, but always their own. And Nimbus takes their first steps as a Cloudstrider. So that's what it takes to become a Cloud Strider, and it's certainly no small feat. The idea that one has been so heavily augmented seems to be trivial when one simply thinks of nanites. Surely all of it's simply built on top of everything. But the reality seems far, far more terrifying. Like the entire body of the human being is deconstructed from its base and reconstructed piece by piece. There are some similarly terrifying scenes where it's described how Clovis Bray's entire body is disassembled by the Vex, and honestly, the creation process that occurs in the Sidereal probably isn't too dissimilar. Dara's throat was flayed open. Their bones were pierced into until the drills pierced the marrow. The pain someone must experience in such cases, even under the strongest of anesthetic, must be extreme. It must be terrifying to become a Cloud Strider. And after all of this is a sacrifice that they make, suffering day by day so that they can live for only 10 more years. It truly is a selfless act to become a Cloud Strider. But that's making commentary on the Cloud Striders as they are now. After all, the ideas of what a Cloud Strider is have been refined for centuries, as has the process. And during the process of that refinement, there were bound to be mistakes. In the next video, we'll be talking about the moment where Maelstrom led the city of Neomuna to near calamity. We're going to talk about the Uplift Coven, the ones who went rogue. But that's a story for later. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, and of course if you have your own thoughts, leave them down below in the comments section. There is still a lot of content that I've got to do. I have content planned out for the next 2 months, just so you all know. There is a lot still going on, and yeah, we have a lot to talk about based purely on the lore that we've gotten from Lightfall and things that are happening in the imminent future. All of that is to say, don't go anywhere. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already, so that you can stay up to date with things. And of course, hit the bell next to subscribe to turn on those email notifications. But as per usual, regardless of whether you do any of that, know that your viewership alone was quite enough for me. And that in the meantime, my name is Bife. Rodacia ad Astra. I'll see you, Starside.